Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss Ilyas by Leo Tolstoy. So, before moving further, let's know about the author Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy, he was the Russian writer who is well known for his social reformer and for his philosophical writings. And Tolstoy's some work considered to be among the greatest novels ever written, as well as many short stories. As far as concerned about the lesson Ilyas, it's about a person who experience both affluence and poverty. Means affluence means abundance of property. But through this experience, Ilyas and his wife discover exactly where their real happiness lie. So let's start today's story, Ilyas. Ilyas is the central character of this story, who lives in Ufa region. This is a place in Russia. So Ilyas' father was poor and he married Ilyas and died after a year. At that time, Ilyas had only 7 mares, 2 cows, and 2 dozen sheep. But he proves that hard work and dedication can change life, and by his hard work, he changed his destiny within a short period of time. So, what he did, he started working morning to night with his wife. He used to wake up early in the morning before everyone and begin his work before everyone and sleep late at night. So, by this hard work, he became wealthier every year and he continuously worked for 35 years with his dedication. Now he become owner of the large property. We can see everything we can get by hard work. So when Ilyas became rich, people started to approach him. At this time, Ilyas owned 200 horses, 150 heads of cattle, and 1200 sheep. There were many male and female workers under Ilyas. Female worker make kumis, butter, and cheese. Now this kumis is nothing but it is a fermented liquor which is prepared from mare's milk. Now Elias got everything in his life, whatever he wanted. He became one of the wealthier person of Yufa. People started to jealous with him and said him a lucky man. He has everything and has no need to die. So some people started to approach Ilyas to meet him. Whoever might come, there was always kumis, tea, sherbet, cheese, butter, and mutton before them. Whenever visitors arrived, a sheep would be killed, or sometimes two, and if many guests came, he would even slaughter a mare for them. Now let's see his family background. Ilyas had his wife, her name was Shamagi. She was fully dedicated to her husband. She labored with him morning to evening. The couple had 2 sons and 1 daughter. He married off his sons and daughter. When they were poor, his son helped him in his work and look after the flocks and herds themselves. But when he grew rich, they got spoiled, and one of them took to drink, the eldest one, and he was killed in a fight. And the younger, who had married a self willed woman, she was too arrogant and she separated him from his parents. So that elder son started to disobey his father, and Elias decided that they could not live together anymore. So Elias gave him a house and some cattle, and this diminished his wealth. Soon after that, a disease broke out among Elias' sheep. Then followed a bad harvest and drought, and many cattle died that winter. Then Kyrgyz stole in Elias' herd of horses, and he faces loss. While at the same time his strength grew less, till by the time he was 70 years old. So he had begun to sell his fur, carpets, saddles, and tents. Before he knew how it happened, he had lost everything, and in their old age, he and his wife had to go into service. At this time, Elias has nothing left except the clothes on his back, a upper cloak, a cup, his indoor shoe, and overshoe. And yes, his wife Shamshimagi, who also was old by this time. The son who had parted from him had gone into a far country, and his daughter was dead, so that there was no one to help the old couple. The neighbor Muhammad Shah took pity on them. Muhammad Shah was neither poor nor rich, but lived comfortably and was a good man. So he welcomed them to his house because he remembered Ilyas' hospitality. So he said, Ilyas, come and live with me. Ilyas, you and your old woman. In summer, you can work in my melon garden as much as your strength allow, and in winter, feed my cattle. and Shamshimagi shall milk my mare and make kumis. And he said that anything he will give them, like cloth and shelter and whatever they need. So Ilyas thanked his neighbor, and he and his wife took service with Muhammad Shah as laborers. At first, the position seemed hard to them, but they got used to it and live on working as much as their strength allowed. One day, Muhammad Shah's relative come to meet Muhammad Shah along with Mullah. When the guest saw the couple working as a laborer, he was shocked because he knew Ilyas' fame. And the guest said, "Fortune turns like a wheel. One man it lifts, another it sets down." And he asked, "Don't they grieve over all that he lost?" Then Muhammad Shah called Ilyas to speak with them. So Ilyas replied that if I were to tell you what is happiness and what is misfortune, you wouldn't believe me. You had better ask my wife. Then the guest turned towards the curtain, and Shamshimagi answered from behind the curtain. She said, "My old man and I lived for 50 years looking for happiness and not finding it when we were rich. We had no time to talk to one another. We spent much time looking after our visitor, getting work done from our labors, and worrying about our cattle, and we had disagreement every time. But now we live peacefully with nothing to quarrel about. We have nothing to worry about, but just think how best to serve our master. Now we have everything which required to live, and we have all the time to talk and the time to pray. At last we found happiness." Initially the guest was laughed, but Ilyas said, "Do not laugh, friends. It's not a matter for jesting, it's not a joke, but it's the truth of life. We also were foolish at first and wept at the loss of our wealth, but now God has shown us the truth, and we tell it, not for our own consolation, but for your good." And then Mullah, one of the guests, he said, "That's wise speech. Ilyas has spoken the exact truth. The same is said in Holy Writ." Soon the guests realized that what Ilyas is saying is the truth of life, and the guests cease laughing and become thoughtful. So this is all about the story Ilyas. So now what is the main theme of this lesson? The main theme is the way of real happiness in life. Means man always run after dignity, money, fame and respect. He forget the real quality of his soul and raises the feeling like hate and greediness in their heart. At the end, after losing everything, he knows the real value of life. The same thing happened with Ilyas in this lesson. At last, the couple knows the real happiness. So this is all about Ilyas' story by Leo Tolstoy. I hope it would be helpful for you. Stay tuned for more videos and thanks for watching.